Novus offers a portfolio analytics platform for hedge funds and firms that invest in hedge funds allocators, which are pension funds, global wealth, sovereign wealth, and family offices. Those sort of organizations need to be able to manage their investments, billions of dollars. What Novus does, it provides them with a platform where they can log in and view their investments, understand where they are in this rapidly changing market.
Before we were on AWS, before we contracted with Caylent, we just had a bunch of really big machines in a data center that were running these different processes. We always had to run it like fairly max capacity. We could never scale down. Sometimes max capacity wasn't max enough. We were in a data center, and when we wanted to increase capacity, we would have to actually go send somebody to the data center and go put a few more computers in our cage, adjust some wires, like physically move wires in and out, plug them back in. So that process could take a day, 2 days. It was extremely expensive.
We knew that if we could re-architect our application to take advantage of some of the cloud-native capabilities of Amazon AWS, having our application scale down when it's off hours, for example, using Kubernetes, and using some of the off-the-shelf AWS services like RDS would allow us to realize some real savings. We did have to change our application, though, to handle a cloud-native environment where at any moment our application could be interrupted and have to restart. And that's where Caylent was really a big help, because they understood how to move our application into a Kubernetes environment. And I understood that for a project where we wanted to spend 6 months just re-architecting our application and finding our landing zone in AWS and moving our application there in a controlled stage fashion, we would need some top-tier expertise to make that successful rather than trying to learn on the job. Biggest pattern that I've seen with startups is making the mistake of seeing a problem and thinking immediately, we have to hire somebody for that. Because that's a really big investment. Hiring people with a skill set plus the people that have the investment in your company's success is just very challenging. So the thing I've advocated for is finding the right firm as a partner that has that really specialized skill set that you need, versus thinking that you need to hire 5, 10 engineers to do the same thing.
Now that we have this flexible architecture, we're able to take this abstraction of a worker, of this flexible process, and we're able to deploy all sorts of different versions of computations on top of it. Before we had any of this in place, it would take us a very long time to develop new features. I would say over the past 2 or 3 years, though, we've been shipping features at such a rapid rate that we've sort of burned through most of our roadmap.
One thing that Caylent really brought to the table was a deep understanding of AWS's security model. We previously had a presence in AWS, but our security model was a little bit ad hoc, just using standard IAM roles. And Caylent understood that we needed to change to a model where we have sub-accounts for each of our environments, and that we use the AWS identity services where we can assume just-in-time identity roles for better security posturing.
We can set up separate tenants. We can set up all of these different infrastructures, which before, again, would have been impossible. We are able to now, lock down and give very specific access to specific users and people based on what other users have defined or what access other users have defined. And we're able to handle all of the infrastructure requirements around this, whether that be network segregation, whether that be a different account, a different environment.
They moved us from just having one AWS account to this sort of standard model of having a transit gateway with connectivity between the different accounts. And it just improved our overall posture so that eventually when it came time for us to go through the diligence process of our eventual acquisition by SEI, we were able to present a very strong posture in terms of our security model and our security implementation. And that was really thanks to Caylent and their expertise. After moving to AWS and our platform to Kubernetes, it really transformed the lives of our developers and improved their work-life balance tremendously. Previously, when we had our on-prem data center and our bare metal application, we'd have to plan releases for off hours, typically late at nights. And one of the great things about using a Kubernetes-based platform is that we can do releases pretty much whenever.
The biggest thing is our infrastructure is just a lot more flexible. So it means we can build new things faster. The other thing is with our cloud infrastructure and cloud deployments, things are a lot more continuous. We can deploy things faster and do this with zero downtime, which is huge. It probably takes around 45 minutes from when you have the code you want to deploy to it being live. If it's an emergency, you could probably get code out in less than 20 minutes without much of an issue.
In addition, for our business stakeholders, they know that if they need a product release, they can see it that day, maybe minutes after they ask for a change. That really has improved our product development, turnaround time, and our innovation, actually. Partners we work with take a very project approach. They want to have a statement of work, and they're following that by the bullet point of what they do and don't do. And the thing that's great about Caylent is that they really do become embedded in your team. In addition to setting things up, they were helping bring our engineers up to speed. During our acquisition, the company that acquired us, SEI, one of the things that they found attractive about our company was our cloud-native implementation and the investments that we made in technology. And of course, I highlighted Caylent as one of our key partners in that.